So in the previous session, we have discussed about objects and we have discussed what exactly an object and what it represents and what are the various types of objects that we have in Salesforce and how can we differentiate standard and the custom objects in Salesforce and how can we see the objects available inside my Salesforce arc. What are the various ways that we have in Salesforce and what is the navigation of each and every way to see the objects available inside my Salesforce arc we have discussed. And upon creating the custom objects inside my Salesforce arc, what are the various governor limits has been imposed by Salesforce we have discussed in the previous session. Now, so now today we'll see whenever I'm creating a new custom object in Salesforce, what will happen behind the screen? What kind of features that Salesforce provides for each custom object we'll see one by one. And then we'll move forward to that, creating our own custom objects in Salesforce. What is the navigation we used to follow to create the objects we'll see one by one. Okay, now. So let me explain the concept here. For example, come to a small scenario. For example, I'm running a small business. I'm running a small business. It may be supermarket or shopping mall or anything. So we have a business or we have an organization. So in order to work in my organization, we have recruited so many employees. We have recruited so many employees. So now these people are keep on serving to the various customers. So every day, so many customers are visiting my supermarket or to my organization in order to buy the products. So whenever a new customer has visited my supermarket or my shopping mall or any of the organization to buy the product, then we have to collect the customer's data and we have to store inside my application. So in this case, how can we store my customer's data? That already we know. Yesterday we have discussed always we are storing the data in the form of tabular structure. Always we are storing the data in the form of tabular structure. Why we are storing in the form of tabular structures? Because managing the data in the form of rows and columns is very, very easy. When compared with the file systems, managing the data in the form of a structured format is very easy because tabular format is called as a structured format. File structure is called as unstructured format. That means there is no specific order of the data inside my file. In any order we can store. Now, so when coming to the table or structures, these are purely the structured format of data, which is very easy to manage the data inside my organization. So in order to store my customers' details, I'm creating an object. That means I'm creating a table in order to store my customers' data. Let's see. So now this is the table here. In order to store my customers' data, I'm going to be creating an object here. This is a database table. I'm creating an object. So this is the object. That means table. Now let's see. This is the customer table. I'm creating a customer table inside my Salesforce arc. So now whenever I'm creating a table in my Salesforce arc with the name customer, is it a standard one or custom one? Custom one, because we are creating. Okay, it's not a ready-made one. We are creating a new table to store our customers' data. Now tell me, all the customer or the custom object names will be visible in the form of what? Hmm.
Underscore. Customer
Custom,
underscore.
custom object names. Standard object names are looking like as a normal words, like as campaign, lead, account, contact, opportunity, like that. Now, the custom object names are keep on postfixing with underscore underscore C because to represent this is a custom object. This is not standard, it's a custom. So whenever I'm creating a new table, so now Salesforce is going to be preparing the object name as customer underscore underscore C. This is nothing but the object. This object is also called as table. In general scenario, in real world, we are calling it as a table, but as part of Salesforce, we are calling it as object. Okay. I'm creating a new custom object with the name customer. Whenever I'm creating a custom object with the name customer, by default, Salesforce is providing a table, okay, with the name customer underscore underscore C. Now tell me, in this case, here you can raise a question. Sir, will Salesforce will provide an empty table or will Salesforce provide some ready-made columns inside this table? Salesforce provides some ready-made columns also. How many? Five. Salesforce provides five standard columns inside this table here. You can create n number of objects also. In every object, these five fields are fixed. These are standard. Then what are those fields? Salesforce provides five fields by default in each object. Field means what? Column inside the table. Object means table, field means column. That's it. Just the terminology difference. In real world, we are calling it as table. And inside the table, we are having columns. Now in Salesforce, this table is called as object. And these columns are called as fields. That's it. Just a terminology difference here. According to the domain, we have to use that corresponding terminology. That's it. Field means column. By default, in this object, it is providing five standard fields. First one, ID. Second one, name. Third one, owner. Fourth one, created by. Last one, last modified by. These are the five fields. So by default, inside that Salesforce table, it provides a five standard fields. That means five standard columns: ID field, name field, owner, created by, last modified by. These are the five standard fields will be given by Salesforce by default in each object here. Now, let's see. So we are having those five columns over here. So this is the ID field, name field, owner field, created by, and the last modified by. Now, the last modified by. This is the last modified by field. These are the five columns will be given by Salesforce by default upon creating a custom object. Now, it provides ID field, name, owner, created by, last modified by. These are the five columns. Okay. Now, so now whenever we are creating a custom object, let me give that steps here. I'm creating a new custom object. I have given the object name as customer. Whenever I'm creating the object, by default, Salesforce is providing a table. Now, this table name is what? customer underscore C. But this table is not an empty table. It is having 5 columns by default. Like as ID field, name, owner, created by, and the last modified by. Now, what is the use of each and every field? ID field is for what? ID field is for what? Not object ID. Customer ID. That means what? Record ID. Because inside this table, we are storing some customer records over here. Whenever we are creating some new customer records inside this table, how to identify each and every record uniquely? For example, I have two customers are available with the name Ram Kumar and the Ram Kumar. Two customers are available here. In that case, how can we differentiate which Ram Kumar you would like to contact? So in that case, to differentiate each and every customer, for every record, Salesforce will allocate one ID that is called as a record ID. So to store the record ID, it is providing this ID. Now tell me, record ID contains how many characters? 18 characters. It's a 18 characters alphanumerical number generated by Salesforce. That already we know. That means now tell me, for this particular record, upon creating the record, do I need to pass this ID value? No. That value will be generating by whom? Salesforce. Automatically, Salesforce will generate that value here. So we no need to supply the value for this field. Next, name. We have to specify the customer name manually. Owner value will be, owner is for what? In order to store the owner of the record. Which person created this record, to indicate that it is using owner field. Next, created by. Created by field value will be generating by Salesforce in order to indicate who created the record, when they have created, on what date, on what time they have created. In order to know the created person name and the date and the time, it is using that field created by. So which will store the value automatically by Salesforce. We no need to supply this value, that value also generating by Salesforce. Next, last modified by field. What is the use of this field? Suppose, for example, 2 days back, I have created the record inside this customer table. In my organization, we have two sales members are available. I am one sales member, he is another sales member here. 2 days back, I have created one record here. I have created one customer record. Yesterday, this person has modified my record here. Yesterday, this person has modified my record. So now in this case, I want to know who modified my record without my permission. In order to collect that recently modified person details, we are using last modified by. Recently, who modified my record, when they have modified, on what date, on what time they have modified. To track the details, Salesforce is using the field last modified by. This is also generating by Salesforce, so we no need to supply. Okay, so Salesforce is generating this ID value automatically, and then created by automatically, last modified by automatically. Owner value also will be tracking by Salesforce automatically. Just we need to enter name value over here. Okay, these are the 5 fields. Whenever we are creating a new custom object in Salesforce, Salesforce will provide a table where table name will be always supposed to fixing with underscore C. Inside the table, Salesforce provides a 5 standard fields: ID, name, owner, created by, last modified by. These are the 5 fields will be given by Salesforce by default. Clear up to this one? Next. Excuse me. This is the step 1. As a step 1, Salesforce will create a table, okay, with the 5 fields. Next. Now tell me generally why we are creating this table. What is the use of this table now? To store
all
data.
To maintain the
Once a
customer
table has
details.
been getting created, okay? Once a table has been getting created, then definitely we will start creating some records in the table. That means we can insert some new records in the table. We can modify the records in future. We can delete some unused records also. We can view the records also. That means we can perform some operations, right? Yes. Okay, we can perform some operations on this table. That means we can create some new records, we can modify the existing records, we can delete the records, and we can view the records. So, in this case, how will you do this operation? How can you insert the record? How to modify? How to delete? Will you able to write the code by sitting in front of the system? No, because I'm not a Salesforce technical guy. I'm just a business person. I'm a salesperson. I'm a service person. I'm a marketing person. I know how to run the business, how to capture the customer, how to generate the revenue. But I don't know how to write the code to insert the record, how to write the code to modify the record, how to write the code to delete the record. I don't know all these things. Then, how can we manage this data? In order to manage the data, we need some user interfaces. We need some screens where I will enter the data in the text boxes. I will click on save button, record will be created here. Like the similar fashion, I can modify, I can delete, I can view, I can do all the operations just by using some mouse clicks. Now, so in this case here, I want the user interfaces also here. I want the user interfaces. In order to manage the records inside my object, I want the user interfaces also. Now tell me, in this case, how can we get those user interfaces? Now tell me the combination of those user interfaces will be called as what generally? Tabs, right? Now, so in this case, once the table has been getting prepared, Salesforce will provide a tab also. Salesforce provides a tab also here. It will create a tab. That means user interface. User interfaces. So what is my object name over here? Customer. What is the tab name? Singular format or plural format? Plural format. That already we know.
Plural.
Now that will be customers. So Salesforce will provide user interfaces also. That means it is designing the user interface automatically. Now it provides the user interface. It provides a user interface. Enter customer name. Owner name. Now it is providing this details over here. It provides two text boxes over here. To enter the customer name, it is providing one text box. In order to specify the owner name, we are having one text box. We are having a text box over here. Now, in order to supply the owner name, we are having this text box. And along with that, it is providing two button controls. It is providing two button controls by default. First button is to save the record. Second button is to cancel the record. This is for save. This is for cancel. Okay. Now, this is the tab. That means user interface will be given by Salesforce. So what is this a tab name now? Customers.
Customers.
The tab name is customers. This is the tab. So now in this case, we are having this two parts are available here. So initially, whenever I'm creating a new custom object, by default, Salesforce is providing a table for me. So now the table name is postfixing with underscore C. In the table, we have this 5 columns by default. And then In order to manage the records in the table, it is providing a collection of user interfaces to me in the form of a tab, where tab name will be in plural format, object name will be in singular format, that already we have discussed in the previous sessions as well here. Now, it is providing the tab over here. So in this tab, it will be storing the data here. For example, I'm entering some data to create a record. Now I'm giving the customer name as, for example, some Ram Kumar. The record owner name, the owner of the record is, for example, some training batch user. Training batch user is the owner of the record here. I have entered some data inside these text boxes. After entering the data in these text boxes, when I click on this save button, what will happen? Now automatically
I will be
a
saved.
new record will be creating inside this particular table. A new record will be created in the table. Now tell me how this button will know this is the table in which I need to create the record. Because in my Salesforce R, I'm having around 200 objects are available, which has been given by Salesforce yesterday we have discussed. Yesterday we have listed out almost 189 to 200 objects are available inside my Salesforce R. Today I'm creating one more new object with the name customer underscore underscore C. Then how this user interface will know? How this button will know this is the table in which it has to create the record. These are the columns in which it has to store the data. That means what? Whatever the customer name we have entered, customer name value should be stored inside name column. Owner value should store inside owner column, because remaining values are generating by Salesforce automatically. Then how this button will notice? In which columns it has to store the data? In my table, I have 5 columns are there, but I'm passing only 2 values. In which columns these values has to be get stored? How this user interface will know? Basically, user interface doesn't have that much of intelligence. It may be any application, Java, .NET, SAP, Oracle, including Salesforce also. Whatever the button controls that we have on the screen, button control doesn't have that much of intelligence. When you click on the button control, it will execute some business logic in the background. In the background, it will invoke some business logic. That business logic will collect the whole data. It will go to the respective database. It will go to the table. In the specified columns, these values will be getting inserted. So in that case, in between this user interface and the database table, we have a mediator component. We have a mediator component. Now this mediator component is called as business logic. This mediator component is called as business logic. Business logic will be available. Now this business logic is also called as controller. It is also called as controller. So how these controllers will be available? These will be available in the form of a class. This will be available in the form of a class. Then what is that class name? That class name and your table name both are exactly same. Whatever the table name that we have, with the same table name, Salesforce will create a class. Now tell me what is the table name now? Customer underscore underscore C.
Underscore
So here
C.
Salesforce will create a table with the name customer underscore underscore C. This is the class name over here. So now in between this user interface and the database layer, we are having a mediator component. This user interface layer is called as front end part. Okay, this is called as front end. This is called as a front end. This database layer is called as, this is a back end. This is called as back end. Now this is called as business logic or controller. Now here we have multiple names are available. This front end is also called as view. This is also called as presentation. This is also called as screens. This is also called as forms. Multiple names are available. When you go to this backend is also called as model. Is also called as model. Now, in this case, this will be called as view. This is called as controller. So we are having this architecture: model, and the view and the controller architecture here. Salesforce is purely supporting MVC architecture. We will be having a model, we are having the view, we are having the controller. Model means database, view means user interface, controller means mediator component. That means business logic layer. Okay, now in this case, what will happen after entering the data in the text boxes? As soon as once you click on this save button, immediately a request will be sending to the business logic layer. Now the business logic layer will connect to the database. It will insert the record. Once the record has been inserted, it will get the response back from the database layer over here. Now the same response will be forwarding back to the user interfaces. This is the flow. Okay, so as part of your application development, these are the three layers will be available. We are having this a backend part, we have the front end part, we have the mediator component that is called as controller or business logic. So whenever we are creating a new custom object in Salesforce, Salesforce is providing this three layers here. It will provide a table by default, and once the table has been created, it will create a tab. Once the tab also ready, then it will create the business logic class. That is in the form of class, where my class name will be customer underscore underscore C. So whatever the name that we have given for the table, with the same name, it is preparing the class also automatically. These are the three layers are going to be preparing the Salesforce internally by default. Okay, understood the concept here? Whenever we are creating an object in Salesforce, just we will follow some navigation. When I click on next button, Salesforce will create everything automatically here. We no need to write even a single line of code. Now, so in this case, let's see here. Now, for example, come to the scenario. For example, when you go to some other programming languages like as Java, .NET, or any other programming language also, whenever if you want to implement this same feature, if you want to build this same feature over here, first of all, we have to create the database table first. To create the database table, you should be aware of database programming. That means SQL programming here. That is one thing. Second one, to design these user interfaces, we need some web technologies like as HTML, DHTML, CSS, JavaScript, we should be aware of. So we should be learn all these things. Then to write this business logic class, we have to be aware of some programming like as Java programming, C#, .NET, VB.NET, any one of that here. That means what? In other programming languages, if I want to implement this same functionality, I should be aware of SQL programming, HTML programming, DHTML programming, CSS, JavaScript, and any of the programming language over here, that is Java or .NET here. These many number of programming languages we have to learn first, then only we can implement this same feature over here. Now, so in this case, now tell me here, if anybody is aware of Java or .NET, anybody having some technical knowledge? Java programming. Okay. Any more? Any other programming, .NET or any other thing? Now, let's see. For example, come to that Java programming here. If you want to develop this same feature over here, I want to design this a table first. I want to design the tab. That means 5 user interfaces I want. To insert the record, 1 user interface. To update, second user interface. To delete, third user interface. To view the fourth user interface. To undelete, fifth user interface. 5 screens I want here, along with the corresponding business logics also. If you want to build this feature in Java programming, how much time it will take minimum? Minimum it will take 4 to 5 hours of time. We have to spend 4 to 5 hours of time in order to build this feature by using Java or .NET. Even though we are having 2 years of experience also, it will take 4 to 5 hours of time, because we have to design these user interfaces, we have to write the business logics, we have to design the table, everything we have to do. So it will take minimum half day of time here. Now tell me how much time it will take in Salesforce to do this one? It will take hardly 1 minute of time. Okay, hardly it will take 1 minute of time here. Because the two, we are not writing any code, even though we are not writing a single line of code also. Without having any technical skills, without learning any programming languages, without having any technical knowledge, just by using mouse clicks, we can able to do that here. And that too, we no need to create all these things manually by your own. Whenever we are creating a table by using some navigation, Salesforce will create the table automatically. It will create the user interfaces by default. It will prepare the business logic also here. Everything will be building by Salesforce in one shot. So that we no need to create all these things separately. Upon creating the object, all these three layers will be given by Salesforce in one shot for you. We'll see practical concept also today over here. Okay, understood the concept here? This is how the Salesforce is going to be reducing the development part. So when you go to the Java and .NET, everything we have to implement by our own by writing some piece of code. But in Salesforce, most of the features are configurable features. Most of the features are built-in features. Just we have to use them. But whatever the features given by Salesforce, if those are not at all sufficient for my requirement, then only we can go for custom development over here. Okay, so in this case, if I'm building most of the functionalities by using ready-made functionalities, then development part will be getting reduced. If the development time has been reduced, then we can able to save the budget also from the client side here. Okay, clear? Now, let's see. Make a note of this one here. Understood the concept till now? Now, make a note. While creating a custom object in Salesforce, it provides the below three features automatically by default. For example, I'm creating a custom object with the name customer. Then Salesforce will create the table first. This is also called as modal part. It will create a table with the name customer underscore underscore C. Inside this table, it provides 5 standard fields. First one ID,
ID,
second one
name,
name, owner, created by, and the last modified by. These are the 5 fields will be given by Salesforce by default. Second one, it creates a tab that is also called as business logic that will be with the name customers. Third one, it provides the business logic here. So tab means user interface. Business logic that will be available in the form of a class where the business logic class name is exactly same like as your object name. Yeah. Yes, everything. Upon creating this object itself, we can define the security level also. To whom this object can be accessible, everything we can control. Okay. Done with this? Now, let's see. So as of now, we know whenever we are creating a new custom object in Salesforce, what will happen behind the screen? Okay, we have discussed this functionality. Now we'll see really these functionalities will be given by Salesforce or not. Okay, let's try with practical. Then in this case, how can we create a custom object in Salesforce? Whenever we are creating a new custom object in Salesforce, we have two ways are available. In order to create a custom object, we have two ways available in Salesforce. First one, by using Object Manager. Okay, first one, by using Object Manager. Like in the previous sessions, we have discussed App Manager. What do you mean by App Manager? In simple words, what we can say, App Manager is a cloud-based feature which is used to manage applications. That means to create some new application, to customize the existing applications, to upgrade the applications, to view the application, we are using the feature called as App Manager. Like the similar way, to manage the objects, like to create some new objects, to modify the existing object structure, in order to delete the objects also, in order to view the objects also, we are using the help of a feature called as Object Manager. So Object Manager is a feature which is used to manage the objects. Yesterday we have used, yesterday I have discussed that in order to see the objects we are using Object Manager. But not only we can view, we can create the custom objects also through Object Manager. That we'll see practically today. That is one way. Second way is schema builder. Yesterday you know that. Yesterday showed you what exactly schema builder tool, how it look like. Okay, I have discussed about that. Now, these are the two ways are available to create a custom object. Upon creating this custom object in Salesforce, we have two ways. First one by using Object Manager. Second one by using schema builder. Okay, these are the two ways are available. Okay, now let's see. Make a note of this one. Salesforce provides the below two ways to create custom objects. First one by using Object Manager. Second one by using Schema Builder. First one by using Object Manager. Second one by using Schema Builder tool. These are the two ways are available in order to create custom objects inside my Salesforce org. Excuse me. Done? Now, let's see. Initially, we'll go with Object Manager. Okay, later we'll see Schema Builder. Because whenever we are creating an object through Schema Builder, we have few side effects. Okay, we are having few side effects are available. There are few drawbacks in Schema Builder upon creating an object. So I don't want to touch Schema Builder right now. We will see this concept later here. That is a further upcoming topics over here. There I will show you here how to create the object through Schema Builder also. But now I would like to go with Object Manager. How to create the object by using Object Manager? Now let's see. But here, upon creating an object in Salesforce, we have two scenarios will come into the picture. Okay, there are two scenarios will come into the picture. First one, sometimes my client will raise a requirement. They want to create a custom object. They want us to create a custom object which contains all these three layers. They want the table, They want a tab and ultimately business logic also automatically. Okay. Now, sometimes the client will raise a requirement. They will ask us to create a table with a tab. So whenever we are creating a new object in Salesforce, along with the object, they want the user interface also in order to manage the record. Business logic will be automatically giving by Salesforce over here. Okay. Now, so they want the complete package. All these are three layers they want: table, tab, business logic. All the three layers over here. This is one case. In the second case, in some cases, the client will raise a requirement over here. Sometimes the client will raise a requirement. They want only the object here. They don't want tab. Automatically business logic also will be giving by Salesforce over here. Okay. Now they want the table and the business logic, but they don't want tab. Now here you can raise a question, sir, if they don't have any tab, if they don't have any user interfaces, then how they will manage the records? Already they are having a technical team. They have a separated tool is available. Through the tool they will create some record. Through the tool they will modify the record. Through the tool they will view the record. They can do everything through the tool itself. Already they have a separated tool, so they don't want any tab over here. So simply they want table and the business logic class. That's it. These are the two scenarios will came into the picture. Upon creating the custom object, they want, okay, to create the custom object with all the three layers. In the second scenario, they want us to create the custom object, okay, with business logic, but they don't want any tab. That means object with a tab, object without tab. Then how to create, we'll see practically here. Okay, both the scenarios I will explain. Okay, now let me explain the navigation here. I will give the navigation first, then I will show you with practical. Now, take a small use case. Create a custom object, customer, with a tab which can be used to manage the customer's data inside the organization. I want to create a custom object with the name customer with a tab. I want the object with a tab also to manage the data related to my customers. Then what is the navigation we used to follow? Now let me explain. Click on setup menu and click on object manager tab. Go to the object manager section. Click on create button and expand it. Click on new custom object. New custom object. Enter the singular label and plural label and the description. Enter the singular label and plural label and the description. Now tell me in this case, singular label is for what? Plural label is for what? Singular label is for what? For object or for tab? Object. Plural label is for tab. That's it. That already we know. In Salesforce, it is following a notation. Object names are always in singular format. Tab names are in plural format. So we have to enter with what name you want to create the object, with what name you want to create the tab. Now, for example, I'm indicating object name. I'm giving as customer, tab name. That will be customers. Now, go to the optional features section. Go to the optional features section. In this optional features section, we have 4 checkboxes are available. First one, select the checkbox allow reports. Yeah. Sorry. Select the checkbox allow reports. Go to the optional features section and select the checkbox allow reports. What do you mean by this checkbox over here? Here I am going to discuss 4 checkboxes. This each checkbox is nothing but a separated topic in Salesforce. Okay. In upcoming sessions, we'll see. Now, so what do you mean by this allow reports? What did you understood with this word? Allow reports means what?
To allow the reports to download or view.
Now, in this case, let's see. Now, today I am creating a customer object here. Once the customer object has been prepared with the required columns, I will store some data, right? I will store some customers' details inside my table here. Now, every day I want to generate some report because all my customers' data has been stored inside this table. Every day I have to generate a report which I would like to send to my manager, to my reporting manager, to my higher official, to my CEO, or anybody here. I want to generate a report that today how many customers are visited. I want to collect all the customers' data. I want to generate in the form of a report. This report I want to share it to my manager over here. Now, sometimes I want to generate a report, weekly report over here. In this week, how many customers are visited? In this month, how many customers are visited over here? I need to generate some reports. It may be daily reports, weekly reports, monthly reports, quarterly reports also. So in this case, once the data has been stored inside this object, if you want to show this data in the form of a report, then we have to select the checkbox allow reports. That means what? I'm informing to the Salesforce boss, I'm creating a new table right now with the name customer. In this table, I would like to store the data. So please allow me to show this data inside the reports also. Please allow me to represent the data in the form of reports also. That may be a tabular report or it may be any type of report also. It may be daily or weekly or monthly or quarterly, anything. So that here, in order to represent this object's data in the form of reports, we have to select the checkbox allow reports. Clear? Understood the concept here? Then how to configure the reports, everything we'll see in upcoming sessions over here. Next, second one. Select the checkbox allow activities. Select the checkbox allow activities. Now, better to maintain a notebook and pen. Okay. Now, we need to select the checkbox allow activities. Generally, what do you mean by activities? Activities are nothing but reminders or alarms or the alerts which we are going to add. So whenever if you want to add some alarms or the reminders or the alerts on these particular records, we need to select the checkbox allow activities. Like for example, come to a scenario. Assume that I'm a salesperson. Okay, I'm a salesperson here. So now I'm working in a bank as a credit card, okay, sales representative here. Today we have collected a lead from my marketing team. So he is the lead person. He showed interested in our credit card service. He wants to apply for a credit card here. He visited one of our campaign. So he has collected all the details. Now my marketing team has collected his details. This lead record has been assigned to me. So I'm a salesperson. I would like to contact this lead. I have to convert this lead as our customer here. It's my responsibility. So I made a call to the lead person morning at 9 o'clock. Because I came to the office, I came to the bank morning at 8 o'clock. I have collected all the lead people's details. So I made a call to the lead person here. When I make a call to the lead person, he has received my call. He told me, I'm in a meeting, so please call me after 1 hour. Okay. During that time, he's in a meeting here. Or he may be in traffic also. He may be okay busy with some other work. He just picked up my call. He told me, I'm in a meeting right now, so please call me after 1 hour. So now in this case, I made a call to the person at 9 o'clock. He asked me to call after 1 hour. That means after 10 o'clock, I have to give a call to the person again. Now tell me, how can we remember this information? How can we remember? He is the only lead I'm contacting today? No. So many lead records are available. So many people are available who applied for credit cards. I need to contact all these people here. And along with that, I need to contact few people also personally. We need to meet some clients also. I have some personal works also here. Because of this work, if I forgot to contact this person again, then I will miss this customer here. I will be losing this customer. We are losing some business. I am not able to meet my targets also. This is a problem. In this case, how can we remember this information? You want me to maintain a notebook over here to write some note point over here? I need to make a call to the person at 10 o'clock. No, I can't write that. So instead of writing this information inside a notebook, I want to write this note point inside my system itself. Inside my Salesforce application itself, I want to write. For that one, we are using the help of a feature called as activities. So we can able to add some alarm. We can able to add some reminders inside the system itself. If you want to add some reminders or the alerts or the alarms on your records, then we can select the checkbox, allow activities checkbox. Okay, clear? Now, next one, third one. Select the checkbox, track field history. Third checkbox, track field history. Then what do you mean by this track field history option? What did you understood with this?
He created the record, who updated those records,
Right,
and who
exactly.
updated the data,
No,
which
right,
data has been modified.
right. Everything we can track. Now, so in this case, a track field history. What do you mean by this a track field history? Now, let me explain. For example, nowadays, wherever you go, anywhere, it may be shopping malls also, supermarkets also, movie theaters also, whenever you are going on the roads also, everywhere we have CC cameras. Why? What is the use of the CC camera? In order to monitor the people's activities. For example, I have a shopping mall. So now for my shopping mall, so many people are visiting every day. But as a property owner, as a owner of the shopping mall, it's my responsibility. I need to protect my property from the damages. Maybe there are few people who wants to make some damages for my property. But in that case, as a property owner, it's my responsibility. I would like to protect it from the unauthorized people, from the damages. In this case, what can I do? Do I need to work like as a security person in front of my shopping mall? No, I can't do that. So for that reason, we are appointing some CC cameras and different places here, which will be keep on monitoring the people's activities. If anybody person did that, if any person did some modification, any person can did some damages on my property, we can take that CCTV footage, we can verify the person, we can go with the legal process also. Now, in this case here also as part of my Salesforce, on my Salesforce object, today I'm creating an object. On that object, I would like to append some CC cameras over here. Why? From today onwards, I'm keep on creating some records inside my object. In that case, once I create a record, then if anybody has modified my record, if any other salesperson or if any other employee in my company modified my record, then I want the tracking mechanism. Who did that modification of my record? Which person did that modification? On what date they have modified? On what time they have modified? What column values they have modified? What is the actual value that I have entered? What new value they have assigned? Everything I would like to track. So for that reason, I want to have a tracking mechanism also. For that reason, Salesforce has given a feature track field history. Now, so now in this case, whenever we are going to be enabling this track field history, from there onwards, Salesforce will track everything. If anybody modified your record, it will collect that person's details. It will store into the database over here, like as a CCTV footage. Okay, clear? Now, next one. These all are separate features. Okay, in upcoming sessions, we'll see how to configure reports also, how to enable field history tracking, everything we'll see one by one. Next, select the checkbox, allow in charter groups. Select the checkbox, allow in charter groups. Then what it means? What exactly the checkbox allow in charter groups indicates? So basically nowadays here, let's see. Nowadays security systems are having some advanced features. Like if I'm having a normal CCTV footage, then whenever if anybody did some damages or malfunctioning in your property, then until or unless you are not looking into the CCTV footage, we don't know who did that here. But now we are having so many advanced features in security systems. If anybody tries to access my account without my knowledge, okay, it will be giving some alert message to your mobile automatically. That means, okay, you are trying to be accessing this application from outside. It will be giving some alert message. Like the similar way here also, whenever if anybody has modified your record without your permission, then Salesforce is going to be collecting that whole information, who did that modification, which person modified your record, on what date and what time, what field values he has modified, what new values he have entered. It will collect the whole data. It will send one alert message to you automatically by default. So that in order to receive this kind of alert notification, these alert notifications are called as charter messages in Salesforce. Now, so in that case, to receive this kind of charter notifications, we have to select the checkbox allow in charter groups. These are the 4 options are available. We need to select these 4 checkboxes. Okay. Now, next one. Go to the deployment status section. Now, you will be having the 2 options are available in development. Second one, deployed. Go to the deployment status section. Here we are having 2 options are available in development and deployed. What do you mean by this in development? What do you mean by deployed? Okay, now let's see. So basically, whenever we are trying to be accessing any website, upon accessing any website, sometimes it will be giving some message to you, website is under construction, please try after some time. it will be showing some message. Okay, that means it is indicating that particular site is not up. The site has been down because they're doing some maintenance activity here. So please wait for some time. Later, after 1 hour, you can access it here. Now, like the similar way here also, in order to indicate, whenever we are creating this object, if you want to give the status of your object, we have two options in development. That means what? Object is still in construction stage. Still, I'm adding few fields inside the object, so this object is not ready to use. So please wait for some time. Okay, let me deploy this object here. If I'm selecting the option deployed, that means what? Object is ready to use. Object is already built. All the fields are available. So other users can access my object. They can create some records inside the table as well here. So in order to indicate whether the table is ready to create some records or not, we are using this option in development and deployed. So select the option deployed. By default, deployed will be getting selected over here. Next. Go to the object creation options section. Go to the object creation options section. Here we have two checkboxes are available here. The first one, add notes and attachments related list. First one, add notes and attachments related list on the layout. That means what? Once the record has been created, on that record, I would like to add some attachments over here. Along with the record details, I want to add some attachments also. In that case, I would like to select the checkbox, okay, add notes and attachments related list. Now, second checkbox. Now, launch a new custom tab wizard after saving the custom object. The second checkbox is launch a new custom tab wizard after saving the custom object. Then what it means? What did you understood with this particular checkbox? This is very, very important checkbox.
Create a new tab with this customer.
Now, so in this case, launch a new custom tab wizard. That means what? Tab. So now today we are creating the object in Salesforce. Whenever we are creating this object, you want me to create the tab or not, that we can decide. Because sometimes I need object with a tab. Sometimes I want only object without any tab here. So that we can decide with the help of this checkbox. Okay. Upon creating the custom object, if this checkbox is selected, then Salesforce will create a tab for your object, or else it won't create the tab. So just it will create a table along with the business logic class. Business logic class will be available in both the cases. With a tab also, without tab also, business logic class is available. Okay. If you want the object with the tab, select this checkbox. If you don't want the tab, don't select this checkbox. Just you can leave it as empty here. Okay. Next. Now, the next one. Select the tab style by using lookup icon. Select the tab style, okay, by using lookup icon. That means for this particular tab, what style you want to apply, that we can select the tab style over there. Then click on next button. Select the default option to make the tab to be visible to all profile users. So now this is the place for the authorization. That means whatever the object that we are creating, this object will be accessible by which profile users that we can decide. So I want to make it selected as a default on, which indicates this tab should be visible to all the profile users, okay, automatically on their applications, on the tab bar, it should visible automatically here. Then click on next button. Select the checkbox, include a tab to make the tab to be visible in all the applications. So whatever the tab that we are creating right now, that means whatever the object I'm creating right now, this object can be accessible in which applications here. As of now, while creating the custom application, we are selecting some utility items and navigation items. What tabs to be useful in this application we are selecting. Now we are creating a new separate object. This object should be visible in all the applications also. So that I'm selecting this checkbox, okay, include a tab. And click on save button. So this is the navigation we used to follow in order to create a new custom object inside your Salesforce or okay, along with the tab. Done with the navigation? Now, let's see. So let's see how can we create my own custom object. This is a navigation we used to follow. Okay, through this navigation, we can create our own object with a tab, without tab, both. Just only that last checkbox is deciding that you want tab or not. Now let's see. As part of my first use case requirement, I want to create a custom object with the name customer. I want to create an object with the name customer with a tab. I want tab also here. So let me create the object. I'm going to my Salesforce org now. I'm going to my Salesforce org. Everybody has done with your Salesforce account creation, right? Okay. Feeling comfortable with the navigation? Are you doing the practice on daily basis? Okay. Now, I would like to create my own custom object here. So click on the setup menu. Click on object manager. I want to create a new custom object. Go to the option create button and expand it. We have the option called as custom object. So as soon as whenever I'm selecting custom object, it provides a screen in order to create a new custom object here. Specify the details. I'm giving the object name as customer. I'm giving the tab name as customers. That means a singular label. Label and the plural label. They have given some example also. Account, accounts. Okay. So now this label is for object name, plural label is for tab name. Okay. Next, description. This subject is used to hold all the customer details. In order to hold all the customer details, I would like to create this object. Okay, I want to create the object in order to hold all the customer details. Next one. Go to the optional features section. Select this 4 checkboxes: allow reports, allow activities, track field history, allow in chart groups. Now, I'm selecting these 4 checkboxes. Go to the deployment status section, make the object as deployed. Okay, make the object as deployed. So now here in this case, I would like to make this object to be accessible here to the users so that the users can able to access my object and they can able to create some records also. Next, go to the object creation options section. Here we have 2 checkboxes are available. Add the notes and attachments related list. And the second one, we can launch a new custom tab wizard after saving the custom object. So now I would like to add some attachments also along with the records, so that I would like to select this checkbox. Now, I'm selecting the checkbox, add notes and attachments option. Next one. So now tell me, this last checkbox is indicating what? Tab creation. Now, as part of my requirement, upon creating the object, we need tab or not? Yes, we need tab.
Yes.
So select this checkbox. If the last checkbox is selected, then only tab will be created, or else it won't create the tab. Simply it will create table and business logic class. That's it. Okay. Now, select the checkbox, launch a new custom tab wizard after saving the custom object. Next, click on save button. As soon as once you click on save button, it will ask you to select the tab style. Here we have a lookup icon is available here. This lookup icon is used to select the style which you would like to apply. Click on this lookup icon. It will populate a collection of styles over here. These are the various styles are available in Salesforce. Each style is having a color, image, color, image, color, image. Each style is having a color and an image is available here. So now from this one, we can choose any style, whatever you want. Now, sometimes you can raise a question, sir, I have selected a style, but the color is good, but the image is not good. So I have selected a style there, image is good, color is not good here. Do we have any chance to select our own image, our own color? Yes. We can create our own styles also. So here we have the button, create your own style button here. By using this create your own style button, we can create your own style also here. Now, we can select that color by using that HTML color icon. As soon as once you click on that, it is providing a small dialog box. So it is populating so many HTML colors over here. This is the color palette. From this color palette, choose the color whatever you want. And along with that, we can select the image by using this button, insert an image by using that document object. Whatever the image you are going to use, that object, that image should be uploaded into your document object first. Then only we can use that color over here. Depends upon your requirement. Okay. Now, so I don't want to select any one of this my own style. I want to select the default style here. Compulsorily, we have to select one style. For example, I'm selecting the style like some people style, because customers means people. So that I'm selecting people style here because it is having the people's images available over here. Select the style. Click on next button. Now, so make the tab to be visible to all the profile users. So I want to make the tab to be visible to all the profile users by making it as a default on. Okay, by default, tab will be visible on the tab bar by default over here. These are the various of profile users. Click on next button. Now, whatever the object that we are creating right now, this object will be accessible in what applications? In my Salesforce, we have so many applications, including standard, including custom, including classic, including lightning. So many applications are available. In these applications, in which application you want to access this object, that we can decide. So by default, it is selecting include tab so that it will be visible this tab in all the applications also. Suppose if you want to access this object in only in one application, like as for example, your custom application. Like for example, we have created the custom application with the name Farmers Insurance. This is the Farmers Insurance Lightning application. I want to access only in this application. In that case, just you can unselect this checkbox here. Now all the checkboxes are unselected. Select that application in which you want to access. I want to access in Farmers Insurance Lightning application, and I want to access in LG Sales application over here. In only in these two applications, I want to make it accessible. That we can control. Instead of accessing this object in all the application, we can restrict it also here in which application it can be accessible. Okay. Now, I want to make it visible in all the applications also, so that I'm selecting include tab checkbox. Clear? Now, click on save button. So now as soon as once you click on this save button, Salesforce is creating a new object for me with the specified name. What is the name that I have given? Customer. So it is creating a table. What is the name of the table here? Customer underscore C. Now, so the table name is customer underscore C. The table has been created successfully. Once the table has been created by Salesforce, will it provide any columns in the table? Yes. How many? 5 columns over here. How to see? In the left panel, we have fields and relationships link. Okay, we have fields and relationships link. Just you can click on fields and relationships link over here. Click on fields and relationships link. Now we can see those fields. These are the fields. ID field is common for every object, so Salesforce won't represent that ID field. We are having this name field. We have this owner field, and then created by, last modified by. All the 5 fields. ID field is common for every object. It won't show the ID field inside this list. So along with that, we have the remaining 4 fields: name field, owner, created by, last modified by. Okay, so the table is ready with all these 5 columns over here. Clear? Now, so now here you can raise a question. Sir, upon creating a custom object, Salesforce has given the table to me. Okay, fine. I want the tab also. How to see? Just go to your applications over here. Access any one of the application. I'm selecting the application LG Sales. Now tell me, do we have the tab with the name customers? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We have the tab here. Customers tab is available automatically here. Now we no need to design the user interfaces. Not just you can click on customers tab. We have the user interface. Select all option to see all the records whatever we have created. But till now we haven't created anything. Just now we have created this object over here. Okay, clear? Now, so now my object is available with 5 columns. It is providing tab also. That means user interfaces are available. Now I want to test business logic has been given by Salesforce or not. How can we check it out? Just you can click on the new button, Form will be getting opened for you. Enter the data. When I click on save button, if the record is created in the table, that means it's a confirmation to me my business logic is available. Because without the business logic, record cannot be created. Without the business logic, record cannot be deleted, record cannot be edited, record cannot be restored. So let's see. Click on this new button. Now the screen will be given by Salesforce automatically. We no need to design that screen that has been given by Salesforce. Now, the customer name. So now I'm giving the customer name as, for example, some Sandeep Kumar. Sandeep is our customer here. Now click on save button. As soon as once you click on save button, my record has been created successfully over here. That means business logic also available. Clear? Now, if you want to create one more record, click on this same tab again, click on new button. I'm creating second record. Like for example, some Tata Motors. Click on save and new. I want to create one more. Click on save and new. My record has been saved. Again, new form has been opened over here. I'm creating the record with the name some Kishore Kumar. Click on save and new. I'm creating one more record. Some Rakesh Kumar. Like that. Click on save. So my records has been created. From here, rest of the story will be same. Already you know how to create the record, how to modify, how to delete, how to restore, how to view, everything you know. Same concept, no change at all here. Okay. If you want to see the records, click on this customers tab. We can see all the records, whatever we have created over here. From here, rest of the story will be same, no change. Clear? Understood the concept now? Any questions? Clear about the navigation? How to create the custom object in Salesforce? Now. Clear up to this one? Next. So this is the way we can create our own custom objects in Salesforce by using this navigation. Okay. Then how can we create the custom object without tab? We'll see in tomorrow's session. And along with that, tomorrow I will show you once an object is created without a tab, in future, if the customer wants the tab for that object, how can we create it back? How can we bring the tab back for the object? We'll see in tomorrow's session. And then tomorrow we are going to discuss about the concept of fields. So as of now, we have created the table. Upon creating the object, Salesforce is providing 5 columns over here. Now tell me, really these 5 columns are sufficient for you to store the customer data? No. Along with the customer name, I want to store customer age also. I want to store gender also. I want to store city name also. I want to store his contact number also. Email ID also. I want some more columns. Then how to add the columns, how to add the fields, we'll see next session. Tomorrow's session, we'll see. Tomorrow we have the session as usual at same timings here. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see how to create the object without a tab, and then we'll see the concept of tabs, how to create a tab for the object, and then we'll see what exactly the concept of fields also. Okay. Now, but do the practice on these features today, and then tomorrow we'll see some more functionalities. So once the fields concept is over, I will give you a requirement document so that you need to work on that requirement document. I will give 2 days of time to complete that requirement here. Okay. For every topic wise, I will be giving a separate requirement document to work on that so that you will get some hands-on experience on these features. Okay. Now. Thank you.